What do you say to people who be like Vlad's police?
Look, when you look at, you're talking about 2008, right? For 17 years, I've been doing interviews.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I've ever heard one of my interviews being used against someone in a case was Keefe D.
Okay.
And that's not even happening yet because he's still awaiting his trial.
Right.
So I've always been very careful about avoiding statutes of limitations. Now, look, if you're a Freeway Ricky Ross and you did 20-something years about being a drug kingpin, you've earned the right to come out and talk about it.
Right.
Right? Now, if you have an open murder, I'm not going to talk about it. But in the case of Keefe D, he felt he had immunity. He wrote a book that was on Amazon at the time that we did our interview, and he wanted to talk about it.
Right.
So we talked about it, and that's the whole Tupac situation.
Right.
That's the only time I've ever heard of, anything that we've done being associated with an actual criminal case. But the rumors and the stigma are going to stick around.
Always pushing health, wealth, better understanding the self, and giving praise to the Most High. So check this out. In this video, y'all know we're going over the COINTELPRO of Adam22 and vladtv. Now, we all know that they work with the police. Y'all seen in that video a clip that what Vlad said. And I had to I ain't had a black glove like Big Homie CC, but I had to put the black ones on for this video. Shout out to Big Homie CC. He's explaining, and he was at Adam22 No Jumper before, so he knows firsthand. He's been in this industry for a long time, so he knows firsthand what's going on. He gonna speak on how the industry and how Adam22 and Vlad, their whole podcast is to be down with the COINTELPRO. So I'm gonna let him speak for us. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, push me on the algorithm. I greatly appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody because if you support me, you support independent media from us. And we need to have real conversations about our community that's gonna move forward. Everybody need to be in some type of group, privacy group for your people, that we need to be able to put messages out. We need to be able to make action moves. Okay, so I think that's very important. Check out what Big Homie CC say. Salute to everybody out here standing on business for the culture, for the people, man.
These guys have a whole informant show. They come out and they get people to incriminate themselves. This is the same COINTELPRO, J. Edgar Hoover tactics that they use. It's the same thing. It's the same way they took down Huey P. Newton and the Black Panthers. The same way they took down the NFAC that got Jam Master Jay. All our black leaders go down because of these type of programs, and all of these platforms are complicit in it.
It's so messed up because...
And that he said that we need to say, if you don't got that energy, if you ain't got that energy of the Black Panther Party, the people who he's saying, if you're not going through history and you ain't understanding that we got to have this type of energy, you moving wrong. You off code. Because it's a reason why they did that. They didn't take them down for no reason. So we got to get back to that, because everything, we done lost track of who the real people are. That's why we got to push the real soldiers in the front line. We got to know, hey, these are the guys. Because when the party was out here, everybody in the world knew them was the guys. Them were them guys. And it was no mistaking on who's who. You was either down, and even though they, started other organizations, the COINTELPRO, to take them down, but that's what they do. And we got to learn from that, because now we in a position to where that COINTELPRO, it ain't gonna work like it used to. Let's go.
You could sit there and you could tell them in the camera, but yet they're still gonna go there.
They still finna take it there.
What can we do? What can we do to stop it?
That's why interviews like this is important. We have to start to raise the thought process in our community and start to get our people interested in different topics. That's why so many people was calling for the Maverick approach and myself to get together. They hashtagging Shaq and Kobe. They making all of these pictures and fan art. We go live on Saturday night, 12,000 motherfuckers watching on a Saturday night. We have to introduce our people to different topics and different things, because if not, oh shit.
So what he's saying is the stuff that these people out here talking about, if it ain't on that Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, Fred Hampton, Steve Coakley, Malcolm X, we can go on and on, Muhammad Ali, if it don't resonate with what these guys are saying, I can't relate. I don't want no parts of it. Because this is how our ancestors stood on business. This is the example that we trying to put out here. If y'all see on my channel, I show videos of, back in the 60s, because I know this is the realest time and the realest people we had. We had more people was real than ever. It was probably 97% real. You couldn't be fake around them. You couldn't be on this, they would have ran you out of town. But now they done injected us around so many different people and so many different agents and, and people that's talking, and we got agents speaking like Charleston White that is like, we getting mixed up of who the real guys is. And that's by design. But it's our job, to get it back. So let him cook. After he get off his phone, he had to. Let's go.
He was crashing out, so then they gonna do it, and it just repeats itself. We got to do something different.
We about to bring Maverick in. I got to ask you real quick though. When you see Adam22 himself come up and say, for everybody who's thinking that I'm part of that situation as far as the indictment coming down with the RICO on Big U and everybody, he says, all I did was provide these guys opportunities. Everything they did was from old stuff, and everything I'm trying to do is give them legit money. Do you believe that from Adam22 that he's only trying to make sure that these guys don't touch the streets and he doesn't benefit off of the gangster stuff that they either have done or is doing? I don't know.
He does benefit from it. It's all he ever wants to talk about. Adam Graham Mason, his father is a master Mason. He's a Mason. His father was pardoned by the Bush administration for committing crimes and illicit activities. His platform is a platform being used by three-letter agencies to target the youth and dumb down the population. No way around it. All of the Crips at No Jumper is in jail.
Damn.
That's enough. I mean, all of for real. At one point or another.
All of the Crips that work at No Jumper are in jail.
Do you feel like they would be in jail if they weren't at No Jumper? Do you feel like...
Yes, they would be. They would not be on camera saying how many murders they got. They would not be on camera talking about they play with guns, and you got convicted felons saying that they got to stay strapped at all times. As soon as they leave, they get followed and arrested.
Do you feel Big U, Brick Baby, I think he got out the next day, loose cannon? I don't think they gave him a bond. Do you feel like... this is the feds. Normally they have like a 96, 97% conviction rate. Do you feel like they got enough as far as they did their homework enough to say, we got these guys for, they say what, extortion, checking in? Like I think that was always been a thing that people talked about since the 90s. You got to check into the West Coast or we will extort you. Like it was almost like people just said it so loosely and freely. Is that a strong enough case to say, yeah, your peers will find them guilty of, let's say, a criminal empire?
It wasn't a strong enough case until Adam had Loose Cannon come onto the platform and explain all of the crimes he committed on Big U's behalf, allegedly. The dispensary robbery that got him indicted, he went onto the platform and told the exact story to Adam on the platform that Big U had to send a cease and desist to. He implicated Big U in several murders on a 4 million subscriber page, and you don't think this was a colonizer activity?
Definitely.
Because he controls that narrative.
Why do you think us as Black people are so interested in being famous or cool that we would literally implicate ourselves in murders and drug activity and different things of that nature just for entertainment?
I feel like throughout the years, our people have seen the value in fame and they automatically attach it to money. And in our culture, where we come from, we have plentiful natural resources. You know, we like shining, we like gold, we like diamonds, we like jewelry. You feel me? Those things is in our nature, it's in our DNA. So when we see stuff like that, it gets paraded in front of the masses. And then I feel like in our culture, every black man of a certain age or woman has tried a music career or tried to rap at some point in time. It all gets attached together. But what happens is as soon as people start making traction to change the narrative and offer different topics and different things for us to do, they get taken down some form of fashion. And it goes back to the nonsense. It's happened over and over and over again.
So that leads me back, and if y'all ain't check out my video I just did on George Soros, if you just heard how Big Homie CC broke down, Adam22 dad is a Mason, and he had to, you know, do some things because he got some charges. vladtv, he looked like he tied into George Soros. This is a big, everybody is in cahoots against us. So it's like their job is to act like they're not in cahoots. So if we don't start eliminating, delineating, and compensating each other, we are going to be in the same boat. You ain't got that. If you ain't got that Panther Party energy in you, you know, or any of those groups, and I ain't gonna say any of those groups. That's the one we gotta stick on, because those guys really stood on business. I don't think it's the right energy, in my opinion. But I want to know what y'all think, man. The COINTELPRO, is the COINTELPRO being used with Adam22 and Vlad and some of these guys on the platform? I'm sure they're gonna have another one. It's another guy who was an informant, Showface TV. He was an actual informant. And he going on, you know, talking on YouTube. So it's like they understand who is who out here, you know, and they trying to silence the real. So we got to make sure that we promote the real. Get into your group. I got a Discord, man. Y'all definitely tap that. I got a number in the description that says get your water tested. You got to text, put me in the group. If you want your water clean, it's very important. I found out, I think it was the end of late last year, when a veteran tried to get, he tried to buy a home for cheap that was in the hood. And the VA said that they was not going to loan him the money for the home if the lead was higher than a level. I think it was like 2.1 or 2.2. But the maximum contaminant level in the city, right, that they allow across America is like 15, or it's a higher number than that. So they understanding really what's going on with the water. And I did my research, and that lead, it makes blacks violent. It's a way that they can pretty much indoctrinate us. So make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, keep pushing the real. Stay tapped in to me. Make sure you join. If it ain't even my group, we go live. I go live on the weekends to spit the real. I think y'all should tap into that. We go over strategies. We're trying to have stuff that's more discreet, but we want to make our people think outside the box and understanding we have to study our history. I appreciate, love y'all. Catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.
You are totally dependent on other people to take care of your needs because you don't have those roots sunk into the ground. To have a community, you must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control four basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.